Berserk, Volume 3, Chapter 7. In this chapter, we see the meeting between Guts and the Five God Hand. Puck and Teresa are there, the Count is there, but just his head, and we start to learn a little bit about what went down between Griffith and Guts. Griffith is the dude in like the Hawk type helmet. Apparently the other God Hand call him Fem2. You know, they were kind of impressed by Guts' fighting spirit, his will to continue the fight, and he said what drives him is his overwhelming anger, is what's propping him up, and it's towards Fem2, or the guy that Guts called Griffith. Now, I know a little bit about who Griffith is because I watched the first two Golden Age arc movies, but I don't know too much about, what happens between Guts and Griffith, why they're enemies, how Griffith put the brand of sacrifice on Guts' neck, because we find out in this chapter Griffith is the one that did that. And for whatever reason, there's a heavy, heavy anger that, Guts feels towards Griffith, but I don't know why yet. And what I really enjoyed about this was when Guts went to go swing at Griffith, he got blown away. And the other God Hand can't believe, that he's able to survive that. And the one chick was even like, the one God Hand, the female God Hand, was like, if we could turn him into one of ours, I'd be so happy or something. And they said it's not possible because he hasn't been, ordained or something like that. The wheels of fate. So the Count says, kill them for me. And this is when the story gets really interesting. Apparently, what we found out about, Teresa's mother, that the Count, was hunting heretics and the heretics killed her, it was totally false. Basically, he was hunting heretics, but when he went home the one day to be like in the comfort of his wife and his daughter, he entered the room and he seen tons of women, some men, and this like god with a goat head on his a god with a goat head on his on the top of his body, and they were all fucking and eating each other's pussy and sucking their cocks and all, basically having sexual relations and just having fun, having a big fucking orgy or orgy, whatever. And somebody entwined around this goat god was his wife. His wife was on the goat god. I don't know if she was riding him or she was just getting pleasure from being, attached to him, whatever. And this causes him to just go berserk. You see what I did there? Go into a blind rage, and when he came to, everybody was dead but his wife. And, instead of being able to kill his wife, which he couldn't do, he goes to take his own life, and that's when the wheels of fate or whatever started to turn, and the Bayolet that he had brought forth the God Hands to grant him, his desire, which is to end his suffering. He doesn't want to suffer anymore. And he goes, are you gods? Are you messengers of hell? No matter, just end my despair. And they basically said, we can take away all your despair. We can make you into a supernatural being who doesn't feel despair or anything like that. Despair and sorrow. He goes, but one phrase for another phrase. And basically, he said the words, I sacrifice this woman to you. The very woman that he couldn't take with his own hands, the woman that meant the most to him besides his daughter, the woman who he loved and hated at the same time. And it wasn't a meaningless sacrifice. And the reason why this all started is the Count said he would use Guts as a sacrifice, and they said it's meaningless. You need to shred a part of you away. Get rid of your humanity. So obviously they want his daughter, and that's how we got into this whole backstory on what really happened. And I couldn't really believe it. I thought what the Count told his daughter was true until we seen this scene, and I couldn't believe what I was reading. It's so graphic and crazy. All these humans, these men and women having an orgy with this like goat god and whatnot, like being in the middle of it. It was just a twist that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to see what truly happened. Now, my question is, who is this goat god? Was he sent here by the God Hand so they can get another apostle underneath them? Was it a different god altogether? What was the deal with that? I want to know the truth behind how that whole scenario started and who this person with the goat head is. Hopefully we get answers to that. So basically they go to sacrifice Teresa, and Guts is like, bug, he calls Puck, he calls him a bug. If you could just make my right hand work, I could do something. Do it now. Basically heal his hand, because Puck has healing abilities. And that's basically all that really happens in this chapter. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the fact that we got the truth behind the Count's wife's death, what exactly happened, how this whole Wheel of Fate sort of works, and it doesn't work. It doesn't explain how it works entirely, but you start to understand the gist. I mean, if they're demon kind, they will respond to dark feelings, ill feelings like sorrow, pain, envy, stuff like that. Where I would assume gods in general, like the good ones, would respond to good feelings and good emotions. So his wailing, basically his despair, wanting to get away from it, was what summoned the god hands, making the Behelit awaken. So the Behelit doesn't need just blood, unless these people that he killed, the ones that were fucking, maybe their blood got on the Behelit. I don't know. And Griffith is very stuck up. He says something about your petty existence or whatever. You're still struggling and squirming in your petty existence. And Guts is like, this petty existence is what got you to where you are, this, that, and the other thing. And I just really want to see what truly happens between Griffith and Guts. Like I said, I know somewhat thanks to the two movies, but I don't know what happens at the very end, what truly and finally goes down between them, and I can't wait to see that. I believe someone told me in Chapter 9 you start to see that, or it starts getting really good from Chapter 9. I'm already enjoying it, but I really would love to see it ramp up and get crazier. But mainly coming away from this, I want to know who that dude with the goat head was, who he is, if he's a god, if he's immortal, what his deal was. Was he sent there to do this to the Count so the god hand could attain another apostle? What was the deal with that? I want to know that, basically, and hopefully they explain it in further chapters. If you feel I deserve it and you want to see more Berserk reviews and other anime manga videos, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're a new viewer and you enjoyed my video and you enjoy my content. I urge you to go check out my other videos on my channel, and you can see for yourself if you enjoy my channel and my content. So if you do, hit that subscribe button, guys. We're trying to grow a motherfucking army here. The Riku army? The Zero Division? I don't know. We'll figure out a word. Maybe we'll talk about it in the live stream I'm doing tonight. I'll be starting a live stream. Actually, no, I can't say that because this is the one for Sunday. Never mind. Ignore that. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed my review of Berserk Volume 3, Chapter 7, The Guardians of Desire, Part 5. I will catch you in the next video. See ya.